Well, as those temperatures continue to climb here across the Carolinas, health experts are reminding everyone to take heat-related illnesses seriously. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke can develop quickly, especially when it comes to children, older adults, outdoor workers, and athletes. Joining us this morning is Dr. Ryan Stempniak, a family medicine provider with Novant Health Wesley Chapel Family and Sports Medicine. Thanks for being here this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So obviously we know this is an important topic, especially the countdown to summer. We're only a few weeks away. Let's start here. What are some of the key warning signs that someone is experiencing heat exhaustion and heat stroke?
Yeah, so great question. So for heat exhaustion, that's usually the first step that people experience before getting to heat stroke. Most of the time, people will start to feel a little bit nauseous, more fatigued. They may start sweating excessively or start sweating less. They may start to feel a little bit warm, more cold or clammy. They could feel either or. And once you start getting into heat stroke, the change with that is typically the ability to process mentally. So sometimes people will feel a little bit more foggy. They may be a little bit more confused, a little bit more agitated. And so that can be an early sign of heat stroke. Another difference between the two is the core temperature. So the core temperature for heat exhaustion is around 104 degrees. And then above 104 degrees would be more indicative of heat stroke.
All right, so we know during the summer there's a lot of activities involving people to be outside. For those that are outside during those really high temperatures, what are some ways or advice you have to stay hydrated?
So I think preparation is key. A lot of times if people are going to be outdoors for a prolonged period of time, they have some time to prepare before they are out there. So usually in the morning, if you're planning to go to a baseball game, if you're going to Carowinds or some sort of other event you know is going to be outdoors, just to make sure you're staying hydrated before you leave the house. So that can look like a 16-ounce bottle of water before you leave, maybe some electrolytes mixed in with that as well, especially for adults and kids to try and avoid anything that has a lot of sugar. And then for adults, especially avoiding caffeine. Or too much caffeine before you leave the house. A lot of times people get a nice coffee before they leave the house, and then they drink that and then don't drink other fluids before they leave, and that can put you more at risk for developing heat exhaustion. So I think the key thing is being prepared before you get outdoors.
All right, some good tips. Some people need the caffeine to get through the day, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I know at the top of the interview we mentioned the group that, is most at risk, parents, older adults, outdoor workers, when it comes to maybe getting those illnesses. Do you have extra precautions for those groups?
Yeah, especially in older adults and then children. So, for example, if children are going to be playing some sort of a soccer game or some sort of a baseball game, just to make sure that they're drinking something at least every 20 minutes or so, especially if they're going to be outdoors for at least an hour. For older adults, sometimes older adults are on different medications that can affect their blood pressure, they can affect their hydration status, and affect their electrolytes as well. So some are on blood pressure medicines that make them lose some of their fluid through their urine. And so it gets harder and harder to replete that fluid if they aren't ahead of it before they're outdoors. So just be extra cautious when older adults or children are outdoors, just to make sure that you're looking for any of those warning signs of heat exhaustion early on, and just making sure that they're staying hydrated throughout the time that you're going to be outdoors.
Wonderful insight shared this morning by Dr. Ryan Stempniak, a family medicine provider with Novant Health, Wesley Chapel Family and Sports Medicine. Thank you again for your time.
Yes, thanks for having me.